everyone. Sorry for the darkness. It is like 8:33 right now at night, and I'm driving. And I thought this came in my mind, and I wanted to talk about it. So, what we're going to talk about today: hypocrisy in Christianity. This is for my Christian viewers watching, and also this is going to be for my non-Christian viewers watching. Stay tuned to the end because I will have a message for you guys as well. Now, let's get into it. So, I see a lot of people that call themselves Christians that either don't do everything that Christ teaches us to do, don't stay true to the faith, and are in the sense of hypocrites, right? Because who knows, right? Sin is hard. So let's get into it. Now, what I want to stress in this message, so remember, when we call ourselves Christians, the responsibilities that we take on are heavy. The Christian life is not easy. It is not easy. Staying true to the faith. I will never say it's easy. But it is very important that we stay true to the faith. Now, I see people, they call themselves Christians, they lie, they sleep around, they treat people quite the opposite of what Christ teaches, how Christ treated people. And what I wanted to say is, when we call ourselves Christians, right, we represent Christ. We do. Whether you like it or not, we do. People look at you, they will associate, and they watch. People do watch on how you treat others and your actions, and will associate that with your faith. And it can even throw people and discourage people from even going to the faith. And why should they? I mean, they're looking at it and they're looking at these people and they're like, wow, all these people are judging and lying and living complete opposite lives. And it's so important that we stay true and continue to follow Christ's teachings. The main things I personally see amongst people that I know that call themselves Christians, I see people, they lie, they sleep around, which that's a big one. Well, and lying, but lie, sleeping around, judging people. Now, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to judging, because there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. We'll get to that later. Lying, sleeping around, if you're cheating, that's even worse. Better not cheat. What else do I see? Just more? Yeah. And a bunch more. So, remember what Christ teaches us. First of all, God teaches us not to lie. You can't lie. Unfortunately, you can't. I argue so much as to not even white lie. Because white lying, it's still lying, right? So, I would say just completely don't lie about anything, right? Now, sleeping around, Christ calls us to wait till marriage. That's what God teaches us. That's what Christ teaches us. So I encourage everyone, wait till you're married. Now, some of you might not listen to me. And if you still sleep with your woman, at least, or hopefully it's just your girlfriend. But you better not hook up. Like, hookup culture should not even be on your mind if you call yourself a Christian. It shouldn't be. Because we literally, you're being a hypocrite. You're going against what Christ teaches. Christ does not teach us to hook up. Not one bit. And faith, sincere faith, will be shown by works. That is what the book of James teaches. A lot of people think that like salvation is because there's a verse, right, that says faith without works is dead, and people misinterpret that and think, well, works is what leads me to salvation. It's not. What he meant by that verse is there's a difference between sincere faith and insincere faith. Sincere faith will be shown by works. That is what that verse is meaning. So what do we mean by works? What does Christ teach us? I forgot which book, but Christ tells us to help the poor, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, give drink to the thirsty, visit people in prison. So those will be shown by works. Like me personally, I encourage you guys, if you like people, when you go to church, see what churches have. Like I just recently started going to this food pantry on Saturdays next to a church and started volunteering over there. Works are also shown by how you treat others, by loving others, and in general, just how you are, your actions. Let's get now into the judging part, because there is a right and a wrong way to do it, like I said earlier. Now, well, you want to condemn. You never condemn the person. We do not insult people. We do not condemn them. What we condemn is the action. Now, we are not supposed to be tolerant. We are not. We're not supposed to be soft. Okay? If you see your fellow Christian brothers and sisters, if they're lying, if they're sleeping around, if they're doing, what you do is you go to them, call them out. You call them out privately. I wouldn't embarrass them, but call them out and say, look, you claim to be a follower of Christ, but you do these actions. I encourage you to repent and ask for forgiveness. Now, the next part I want to get into is we're going to mess up, right? We do. We are naturally born sinners. We have the innate, almost like drive to sin, right? Sinning, let's be honest, it's more attractive. But it kills us in the end. But what do we do when we mess up? Because that's a great question. It's a great question because we are bound to mess up. I myself, one thing that I still struggle with, because I stopped watching porn. I'm waiting till being married. I sometimes slip up with lying. I used to be a big liar before I got saved. And Christ has healed me, and he has been working through me. There's times, not many, there's times I slip up. And the big thing that I'm also still struggling with and trying to ask for healing in is anger. Especially before I got saved, I would be angry a lot, especially with people who I was very close with. Now, sometimes I still get angry. I still get angry at the people that I love most and I'm the closest with. And what do we do, right, when we lash out? What do we do when we lash out, when we lie, or we wrong someone? Well, the first thing we do is apologize to that person, right? That's the first thing we do. We go to them, and we say, I'm sorry. We apologize, and genuinely, because we wronged them. Next is we go to the Father. Now, when we ask for forgiveness, we're not, beating ourselves up. Oh, God, I'm such a loser. That's not what we're saying. Nope, you don't do that. You also don't do, excuse it. You never excuse your sin. Oh, she was really getting me upset, so I lashed out. That's why I did it. No, we do not excuse it. We say, Father, I've done wrong. I've wronged you. Please heal me, work through me, and please forgive me. By the way, when you forgive other people, don't always expect, they're not obligated to accept your forgiveness. That's not why we forgive. We ask for forgiveness because we wronged them. And it's up to them whether or not they want to accept our forgiveness. But that is why we forgive. So now we got to that. Now, this is a message for non-Christians. When you see Christians who are hypocritical, when they're not following the faith, right? Don't look at it and think, well, these guys don't follow Christ. Clearly, Christ doesn't exist. Christianity is false. Yada, yada, yada. Because, one, it doesn't make much sense. Because just because someone is not following what Jesus taught doesn't mean what he did for us and what he taught was false. Let me give you an example. Let's use doctors and nurses, right? Doctors and nurses will tell you don't drink, don't smoke. But some doctors give that advice, but yet they go smoke or they go drink. Now, is what they said incorrect because they went to go drink? No. What they still said is true. They just didn't follow it. Apply that same thing to Christ. So, I encourage you, if you've been wronged by Christians, first I want to say I'm sorry that you went through that, because we are not supposed to do that. And second, I encourage you to still follow and accept Jesus into your life. And yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and God bless. Keep the faith true.